I just want today to feel like I'm in one of those super foggy episodes of Scooby-Doo where there's just mist everywhere. Hi friends! 2 disclaimers. Check the link in the description if you need to check any trigger warnings. Please do so. Second disclaimer, I'm still recovering from my trauma by tortilla chip. I went crazy with the nachos, cut the side of my mouth. And now here we are. I'm so sorry. I cannot put this video off any longer. It just had to happen, so just don't look at me. I'm trying something new today, and I decided every month I want to go back to an author that I've already read once and pick a second book to read because I really want to find my people, get in where you fit in. So I've been thinking back on books that I really liked when I first started reading a lot, and that led me to revisit Adrienne Young, who is this month's author. The first book that I read by her was Sky in the Deep. This is the first book that I tried to rebind, so this is absolutely nothing like the cover. This is just me trying to not be bad at bookbinding. But Sky in the Deep is a Viking story, which is why I picked it. I was in a Viking phase. I'm always in a Viking phase. If you have Viking book recommendations, please, for the love of God, let me know. I love them so much. So Sky in the Deep, I absolutely devoured. This is a book about a female Viking warrior, and she, in the beginning of the book, is in battle with her friend. And as she's fighting, she looks up and sees her brother, who she thought died in battle with her years ago. And she's been mourning him. It's never been the same. Her and her dad have been devastated. But she literally saw him. Like, she saw him get hit, and she saw him lying there with his guts everywhere. So, awkward moment. But he's there fighting for the other side in the battle. So she gets captured. She gets captured, and she is now a slave for this other clan. And we follow her trying to figure out what the heck happened with her brother, how he's alive, why he didn't come back home. She's real mad. She's big mad. She is big mad, and she's a grudge holder, which, I'm sorry, who would not hold a grudge in this situation? She's also trying to figure out how to escape and not be a slave anymore. So I'm pretty sure I was really, really stressed, very stressed when I read this book, and it felt so good to be mad with our main character, whose name is Elin. Maybe Aelin. I don't know. I'm going to say Elin. Elin is so pissed. And Adrienne Young did such a good job of making you mad with her. You didn't even want to not be mad. You wanted to just chew her brother out all the time. I was so frustrated, and it's never felt so good to be angry. I don't know. It was confusing, but in the best possible way. I read this book so fast, and I immediately wouldn't shut up about it at work, and one of the doctors I work with read it, and she also really liked it. I mean, there are action scenes. There are many action scenes, which I love. I need to find more action-y books, because I wouldn't have thought I would have enjoyed reading action scenes, but it's a thing. It's a thing that I'm into. Basically, if you like Vikings, if you like action, if you like holding a grudge, if you like romance but not too much romance, this guy right here, it's a winner. Now that I'm talking about it, I think a lot of my favorite characters over time will end up being female warrior characters, because thinking about a lot of recent books, who doesn't love a strong woman that could kick your ass? Who doesn't like that? So, since that book was so successful, I really wanted to try another book by Adrienne Young, because she's got a decent amount of books. And it seems like they're kind of all over the place. I think some stuff is YA and some stuff isn't. The one that I decided to pick up, it sounded like it would be very good for fall. So I picked up Spells for Forgetting. It is very fall. If you like Gilmore Girls, you will like the vibe of this book a lot. This story follows August and Emery as our two main characters, and it's a dual point of view book. The book starts with August returning to the island where the story takes place, which is Saoirse Island. It's off the coast of Oregon, I think. It's in the Pacific Northwest. Lots of mist and fog and harbors and old houses with lanterns on the front porch. Creepy starlings following you in the trees. There's a tea shop, there's magic, there are grudges about, heritage, and there's an apple orchard. This is the most autumnal book ever. So anyways, August, one of our main characters, is coming back to the island after many, many years of avoiding it. That's how the book starts. And we find out that he left after A, there was a huge fire, and B, this girl Lily was found dead in the woods. He hasn't been back since any of that happened. Our other character, Emery stayed on the island after everything happened and inherited her mom's tea shop and has just been wondering what happened to August. They were madly in love before August left. Like, they were soulmates. There are a lot of people that are unhappy that he's back because he was highly suspected in the murder of Lily. It was never proven who killed her, but a lot of people were blaming August. So people are pretty unhappy when he shows up again. He's not happy to be back because he is trying to forget his past. He's terrified but excited to see Emery, and we just kind of sort through all these secrets and eventually figure out what happened with that fire and what happened with the murder. I'm trying to figure out how to say how this book made me feel. I really enjoyed the vibes a lot. The descriptions of the scenery were really beautiful. It was perfect for this time of year when it's starting to get colder and you just want all of the autumn vibes and you want them now. It's perfect for that. However, it felt really slow to me for the first 2/3 of the book, which is a lot. That's a lot of the book to feel slow. For me, at least. I'm not the most patient reader. The setting was so pretty that I didn't mind reading it, but I still kind of was making myself get through it. I think even though we were getting information in the first 2/3 of the book, it was just not enough. Maybe it would have been more successful for me if there was one twist earlier on in the book. So the pacing didn't really work for me, but I think that there are people it would be just fine for. If they're fine with slower books, if they're fine just living in the setting and taking in the vibes. I'm not an all vibes, no plot person, so that was difficult for me. And then in the last third of the book, everything just keeps happening and keeps coming out, and it's all at once, and it felt kind of clumsy. It felt kind of clumsy and rushed and also very predictable. I was hoping that I would be wrong about everything, but I was right about everything. I've never predicted, there's only one other time where I've ever predicted everything that was coming at the end of the book, but I did with this one, and I did it probably halfway through, and the rest of the book I was just hoping something would come up that I was wrong about or that I didn't even think about, and that didn't happen. So that was kind of a bummer, because while it was easier to read the last third because at least there was more happening, there was nothing surprising. So then my issue with the book overall is I don't think Adrienne Young was trying to reinvent the wheel. As beautiful as the surroundings are, they are nothing new in any way, shape, or form, and that's fine. But if the setting is very unoriginal and this is supposed to be sort of a murder mystery situation, then I need there to be something new and exciting in the plot, and there wasn't. There really wasn't anything out of the ordinary about this book. It was all very predictable and sweet and cozy and slightly mysterious for part of the time, and I'm bummed. I'm bummed because it's a beautiful book, imagery-wise, and the rest just does not live up to it. So I don't know, Adrienne Young. I don't know. I think that she's a good author. I love her for giving me Sky in the Deep. That book alone, if I never like another book of hers again, I still love her just for that book. I'm going to keep trying books from her slowly. I'm just going to have different expectations going in. I think I just expected her to make more bold choices and there were no bold choices in this at all. I don't know if that's because the first thing I read from her was like kind of out of the ordinary. It's not like Viking books are the most popular thing, and her female warrior was super tough and stubborn and really great. I don't know. I can't quite figure it out. I'm disappointed, but I still have hope that I will find other books from her that I really like. I truly think that there are a lot of people who would really, really love this book. I think it's great if you aren't looking for something intense at all and you just want something that captures everything that is perfect during the fall. It's beautiful, it's kind of dark, it's eerie, it's mysterious. This one just wasn't the right fit for me, but I love this experiment. I think I've really enjoyed this idea, and next month I'm going to do Edward Carey, who he wrote Little, which I read last month, and I absolutely adored it. And he also does his own illustrations in the book, which are really cool and antique-y looking, and they're very unique. I love them a lot. And I love when people combine their art forms into one thing and they just like fling all the creativity they've got at you. I love it so much. And he has illustrations in the other book that I got by him, which is the first book in a duology. So I'm very excited for next month. I had a lot of fun with this. If you've read any Adrienne Young books, please tell me what you read in the comments and tell me if you liked it, because I do want to try another book from her. I'm super torn on which one I want to read, so I need help and I need guidance. Yeah, this was a good time. I'm excited to do this again next month. But that's all I've got for today, so I will see you guys in the next video.